Duane, you have faced a lot of great defenders in your time. Where does Aaron Donald rank, and what type of challenge does he pose that's different from other defenders?
I got a lot of respect in the world for him. I think he's the best in the game, and the best defensive lineman that I face. He has a unique combination of quickness, speed, power, great instincts, a lot of moves, just a great feel for the game. So somebody you have to game plan for. You have to be aware of where he is. Stay true to your technique. Not try to do too much or get too overly aggressive, and just battle. When I came to this division, going against him twice a year, it just raises your antennas up. Every week. So I enjoy the challenge. We're looking forward to it, and just got to go out there and fight.
Corbin?
Hey, Duane, last week a little bit of a struggle, giving up 5 sacks on Russell and 11 other hits. Did it just boil down to that they were doing some specific things that were giving you guys communication issues, or was it just a lot of plays where they had more players coming that you guys could block?
It was a combination of things. It was miscommunications and protections. It was some guys losing one-on-one battles. Sometimes it was a scheme thing where we just didn't have enough to pick it up. It was a mixture of things. We had a great game plan. We have to be better. We have to be better at the things that we can control up front. We have to be in tune with it and eliminate those. And we're very aware of that. We've been doing a pretty solid job, but last week was unacceptable, and we're all up to the challenge of correcting that. Um, you know, Russell is extremely important, to our team and our success. And for me, I hate seeing him getting hit, and I relayed that message. Everyone's relayed that message, and we're all committed to correcting everything that happened last week. Going into this week, we know the challenge that LA's defense brings, so we're locked in.
Thanks.
Yep.
Curtis?
Yeah, Duane, I'm just kind of curious. How different is the challenge that a great interior rusher brings, like an Aaron Donald, to the table, as opposed to an edge rusher?
Um,
He kind of contrasts the two and how they kind of trickle to your guys' effect and how you do them.
well, I mean, as an edge rusher, forcing pressure off the edge, depending on which lane they take, if it's the outside lane that they try to force, you still have a chance, for the quarterback to step up in the pocket and have a throwing lane. When the guy is very successful rushing the inside, it flushes him out to certain directions, and so it's a little bit more of a challenge. The thing with him, he'll line up everywhere. He's lined up on the edge more this year, I think, than years past. So they're just trying to do whatever they can to get him different one-on-ones. And so it's a little different. Just the rush lanes are different, getting into the quarterback's spot, trying to get him off of his throwing spot. But, wherever the great rushers are, you have to just move them wherever you can, So
Is it a more difficult challenge to game plan for a guy like that?
not different, not difficult to game plan. I think it's probably easier to game plan just because there are more bodies inside. But if he's getting success from rushing inside, then it's a little bit tougher than the guy getting success off the edge.
Art Teal?
I mean, what was the most critical aspect in getting a lot of production out of a line that had 3 new starters in their positions? You guys seem to have done pretty well without practice and without a lot of the things that normally go into a season.
Um, I think number one, just individually, everyone being committed to greatness and trying to improve as much as we can as far as technique and the physical aspect of it, and getting the mental part of it down without being around each other in the off season as much. Besides that, just trying to work as much as we could once we did get the ball rolling and starting to come in for workouts. A lot of that goes to coach. Mike Solari's done a great job of having us, overly prepared week in and week out. And then, just everyone's just been working. Been working our tails off. We got a lot of young guys, a lot of inexperienced guys, at their positions, and just trying to build that camaraderie. If you don't have the experience, it's kind of difficult to do that, week in and week out. But we've been really committed to just every day, improving, talking, communicating a lot, kind of just learning each other's strengths and weaknesses and kind of how to overcome those and as a collective unit. And other than that, it's been a team effort. Russ has done a great job, of IDing different defenses, getting the ball out on time, receivers are getting open, running backs are running hard. So, it's a team effort, but I'm really proud of the guys and how we've approached every week.
Mike?
Hey, Duane, at what point in your life did you learn how to be a leader?
That's a good question. I don't know, man. I think it's kind of a role that's kind of been with me throughout my life in different points as far as sports is concerned. I've just kind of always excelled and just been a hard worker. And I think my work ethic is something that have made people kind of gravitate towards me as a leader. I haven't always been as vocal, more so just working at my craft and trying to improve all the time. And I think that's kind of what made people look at me in a leadership role. And as I got older and I started to have examples of leaders on my team, and just watching how they go about their business, I became more vocal and just knowing what to say and when to say it. I'm not someone that just kind of talks just for the heck of it. You know what I mean? If I feel the need to say something, that's when I'm more vocal. So yeah, it's something that started, I guess, for me early, but it's something that I really embraced more the older I've gotten.
Who were some of those people you looked to that were leaders, maybe early in college or early in the pro?
In the pros, great leaders I had on my team in Houston. Andre Johnson was somebody that was a great leader. D'Amico Ryans was somebody that was a great leader on the defense. Ephraim Salam, who was the left tackle when I got to Houston. And when I got here, the team was full of great leaders. None bigger than Russell Wilson and Bobby Wagner. So, and I'm learning from those guys as well. So I've been fortunate, to be around some great leaders and just kind of, have us feed off each other and as a collective to try to, move everything forward.
Thanks.
Brady?
Hey, Duane, how do you feel physically right now compared to how you might around this time in seasons past?
Feel amazing. I think earlier in the year, I had a couple challenges that I was trying to work through. But as the year has gone on, I've actually my health has improved, so very blessed and fortunate to, to have that happen. And I'm able to move a lot better over the last few weeks than I was, at the beginning of the season. So just trying to keep that going. The team has done a great job of just managing everything and keeping me as fresh as possible for Sundays. But I'm feeling great.
If I remember correctly, you told us that you started doing more yoga or started doing yoga in the first place this offseason. Do you notice that helping?
Definitely. Maybe just more flexible, open my hips up more, which in turn took pressure off my knees, and so everything, just learning about just the anatomy and how everything is correlated, but yeah, it definitely helped me out a lot.
What's the hardest yoga pose for you at 6'5" and 300?
I don't even can remember all the names of them. I don't really like any of them, but they're necessary. You know what I mean? I think people don't understand. Like downward dog in itself is like being 315 pounds and just putting all that pressure on your shoulders will make me sweat. And I watch people that are a lot smaller do it with ease and just sit in that pose forever. I don't understand it. But no, it's been great.
Last one for Duane, Greg Bell.
Duane, we make a lot of Russell Wilson's 32-8 record after a loss, best in 50 years in the NFL back to the merger. What is it about him that some of his best games come after losses and maybe some of his lesser games?
He's just the ultimate competitor, I think. I think that's just where it starts. After last week, we sat on a plane, just going over film for a large portion of the flight back, and just pointing out different stuff, and just his mentality is a lot just different, just different from most, and I think he's committed to excellence, he's committed to winning, and hates to lose, really hates to lose, as do most of us, you know what I mean? And it's kind of hard to function normally after a loss like we had, you know, and you know, I wasn't here in his whole career, but I've been a part of some of the losses here, and just his mentality, his refocus going into the week, he just turns it up a notch, you know what I mean? He's always, you know, on top of everything, but after that, you know, that kind of loss, you know, everything just kind of gets heightened a little bit more, you know. So we're excited. We're excited at the chance to go back and compete again. Again, like I said, we know the challenges that this defense brings, this team brings, going back on the road. But he's looking forward to the challenge, and I am as well.
Thanks, Duane.
Thank you, guys.